Elaine Saxby.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and it's a pleasure to rise to speak. And I'd like to congratulate my right honourable friend, the member for North Somerset, for bringing this bill forward. And I would also mention the honourable lady from Newport West. And on a Friday, it is always a pleasure to rise and speak. She's so right, my honourable friend is so right, that we have the opportunity on a Friday to get things done. And I think it really is, we come together as one. And as her fallen colleague Jo Cox said in her maiden speech, there is more in common than that which divides us. And today, so many colleagues in earlier debates have referenced our fallen colleague Sir David Amess, which is so timely, the morning after the election of his successor for the City of Southend, who we all look forward to welcoming to the House next week. And at that time, we did hope that would usher in an era of kinder politics. And I just hope some people can actually mention that to those people writing to my inbox today. It is therefore a great delight to have the opportunity to have heard my right honourable friend speak with such compassion about such an important issue, and to have the opportunity to speak today myself and bring this forward. I actually share a friend with my right honourable friend, the member for North Somerset, in Annabel Tall, who's mother to George, Freddie and Samuel. Freddie, who has Down syndrome, and I believe Samuel is up there in the public gallery waving at us today to hear this bill go through, whilst Annabel, I think, is watching on the television. So this is a really big moment, and Annabel wrote to me earlier this week explaining why this bill was so important to her family, because as my right honourable friend mentioned, this is not a condition but about people. People who have a particular condition, their families and the people who care for them, in his earlier speech this year. Annabel wrote that she finds it still disheartening to see new parents and carers having to fight exactly the same battles that we were fighting 20 years ago. She describes it's a spectrum of different difficulties and abilities with common themes. I have lost count of the number of times I've had to explain Down syndrome to professionals who should know, let alone friends and family who still largely base their Down syndrome stereotype on the last person with Down syndrome that they met. I was very fortunate as a teenager, so despite not having the same family experiences, I personally, as a teenager, went and helped at a Down syndrome support group with a large number of Down syndrome infants from very tiny wees right the way through, and had really marvellous day trips. And I think as I wasn't even a woman at the time, as a young girl, that was really very... It pressed on my mind how important it is, and I very much hope that this bill does be the start of a journey for other people with conditions as we move into this integrated care system, that we actually are able to do exactly what my right honourable friend intends, and that this aims to improve services and life outcomes for people with Down syndrome, but that there is so many more conditions that hopefully as we move forward and this bill progresses, that we will be able to help and assist as we go forward. So I will keep my remarks brief. I know many colleagues wish to speak, but I would again like to thank my right honourable friend, the member for North Somerset, for all of his work in this area, and it is a privilege to rise and speak today. Thank you.